According to Sports Pro, Caitlin Clark is the fourth most marketable athlete in the world. Yeah, not just female athlete, not just in the United States, but in the entire world.
Did you notice what Caitlin Clark did just now? She did not only sign a contract, she changed the rules for endorsements. Clark's new $13 billion partnership is not only remarkable, but revolutionary. However, things start to get really interesting at this point when Clark makes some truly notable movements. The way some WNBA players are responding to this possibly game-changing agreement will surprise you. As we examine the drama, especially A.A. Wilson's response to women's basketball, stay tuned. Wilson and Hy are releasing Caitlin Clark basketballs in eye-catching purple and yellow. Fans will receive the Dreamer and Tribute editions in time for the holidays, making them the ideal present. Everyone is talking about this innovative partnership and striking advertisements. Wilson's ability to spot brilliance is demonstrated by this $13 billion relationship. But Nike made a mistake. Wilson took a daring decision that changed the course of history when he recognized Caitlin Clark's potential early on. Let's go back to when Wilson signed Clark. It was a really wise decision.
How? In what way? What does she sell out tens of thousands of Wilson basketballs in 40 minutes? I mean, what has A'ja Wilson done to say that she is worth every penny and then?
Wilson's acquisition of Caitlin Clark is a game changer. They took a big chance by doing something they had only ever done once with Michael Jordan. As soon as the agreement became public and everyone started talking about it, social media went crazy. Wilson had just transformed women's sports.
Here, they just had this going. This is the Hy-Vee Instagram account. Again, Wilson, Caitlin Clark, really smart, very cool video, lots of smiling face.
At that point, Clark's first basketball became accessible. It sold out in a matter of minutes, and tens of thousands of basketballs were gone in an instant. This is a momentous occasion. After Michael Jordan, Caitlin Clark is officially the second athlete in history to own a Wilson.
Clark just did something nobody has done since Michael Jordan. Wilson Sporting Goods signed the WNBA star to a multi-year deal. She's the first female athlete to have her own collection with Wilson, and it will be built similar to Jordan's collection in the 1980s that included those signature basketballs.
Wilson won't stop there, though. Their goal was for Clark to learn something new about her. Her star power, her brilliance on the court, and her ability to engage with fans and make deals. Wilson has placed a large wager on Clark, and thus far it has been profitable.
Only athlete to have a signature basketball with Wilson other than Michael freaking Jordan. Wilson's head of global partnership said, "We haven't done a deal of this magnitude since we did one with Michael Jordan 30 to 40 years ago."
What does this significant shift indicate for women's sports? Businesses' perceptions of female athletes, how they market to sports fans, and how much they value women's sports in general are all changing. Clark is revolutionizing the sports industry not only on the court, but also in boardrooms and marketing conferences.
I don't know that I can name an athlete in recent memory that is sold at this level. And there's the key, folks. Caitlin Clark moves products. Caitlin Clark moves merchandise. And here's what I was talking about too. They mentioned it here. Or in September, Wilson dropped the first Clark-inspired basketball. It sold out in under 40 minutes. Tens of thousands of basketballs snapped up almost instantly.
What does this significant shift indicate for women's sports? Businesses' perceptions of female athletes, how they market to sports fans, and how much they value women's sports in general are all changing. Clark is revolutionizing the sports industry not only on the court, but also in boardrooms and marketing conferences.
And shout out to Wilson. I think we all really appreciate what Wilson has done. They seem to be the only business, the only entity that has taken Caitlin Clark at face value for what and who she is and the opportunities that can bring. Fully, completely embraced her, been great with their marketing. Product drops. I mean, I don't even know how many different basketballs now, but they've made multiple product drops with, limited quantity. I guess you could say they're sold out right away. They keep doing more.
The Wilson transaction is just the start. As they get ready to advance, Wilson and Clark will have a very subtle influence on women's sports. Are you prepared to witness what comes next? Recently, Caitlin Clark made a significant move by forming a partnership worth $13 billion. But here's the twist. She convinced Wilson and Hy-Vee, the huge Midwest supermarket chain, to include women's sports instead of signing a personal contract.
Apparently all of her basketballs or collabs that she's done are sold out pretty quick.
You might think of a chain of supermarkets, but they're not your typical business. Caitlin Clark is the focus of their attention, and they are a significant participant in the retail sector. Moreover, it goes beyond simply writing her name on a cereal box. Instead, they are producing something wholly original and fascinating.
You can see here, Caitlin Clark lands $13 billion brand collab as WNBA stars bond with Wilson grows deeper. And that's the cool part, man. Shout out to Wilson.
This is when the interesting part begins. Guess who is back in the running as Hy-Vee releases unique, limited edition basketballs? These balls are called the Clark Dreams and Tribute Wilson basketballs because of how much they resemble Clark. Off the pitch, Wilson and Hy-Vee are building a sort of super squad.
This is a collaboration with supermarket chain Hy-Vee. They rake in more than $13 billion annually. Huge company, just in time for the...
But why is this such a significant issue? It has to do with how women's sports marketing may be affected in the future. This type of partnership is innovative and establishes a new benchmark for how female athletes collaborate with big businesses. Remember that they have been there for Caitlin Clark at every turn, demonstrating their dedication to her journey from the beginning. When Caitlin Clark lived in Iowa, you may recall their donation to the Caitlin Clark Foundation. In addition to signing a contract, Clark is helping to create goods that share her narrative. Wilson claims that every ball symbolizes a different phase of Clark's growth, from her time at Iowa to her rise to WNBA fame. Building a brand is more important than advertising, therefore it makes sense. She was named as the 4th most marketable athlete in the world by SportPro.
And what this is Hy-Vee has announced an exclusive, yeah, that's right, an exclusive drop of Caitlin Clark's Dreamer and Tribute Wilson basketballs. Very cool. Big deal. Good job, Wilson. You know, they probably went and put this together. I mean, maybe Hy-Vee contacted Caitlin Clark first, but you know, it's probably something, the type of thing.
Hey, what does this mean for the future? Perhaps other businesses will invest more in women's sports, collaborate more creatively, and take similar risks. Perhaps the next time a female athlete signs a contract, the statistics won't surprise us. Instead, we'll be waiting for them.
And get this, Hy-Vee says it's making a donation to the Caitlin Clark Foundation in honor of her record. $35,690 will be donated. In Clark's basketball career, she's scored 3,569 points to beat the old record.
Wilson and Hy-Vee support Clark, but what about Nike? At this point, things start to become interesting. After Nike signed Clark to a $28 million contract, supporters were left wondering where the shoes, tees, and major marketing campaign were, despite the fact that you would think they would be all over this by now. It appears unbelievable.
At number 4, Caitlin Clark, LeBron James at 3, Vinicius Jr., who is a Brazilian soccer star, and number 1 being Simone Biles. As you can see, Caitlin Clark is the only WNBA player in the top 10, and she's actually the only WNBA player in the top 20.
The fact that Clark is well-liked is hardly a secret. In the quick-paced world of sports marketing, every day that Nike fails to capitalize on Clark's star power is a wasted day. Fans are willing to buy, but Nike isn't selling despite a 500% increase in her jersey sales.
Strengthening the partnerships she's already built. From basketballs flying off shelves to multi-million-dollar endorsements, CC is at the forefront of athlete brand.
Industry insiders are likewise confused. They argue that Nike should start shoe lines, display Clark's picture on billboards, and do other things. However, it seems that they have placed her on the sidelines instead.
Her WNBA season has come and gone. And with that, Nike has not done one thing to promote her. We have not seen any commercials. We have not seen any ads. We have not seen any Caitlin Clark merchandise. And we for sure as hell have not seen any Caitlin Clark signature shoes. It is mind-blowing.
According to a recent rumor, Nike plans to give AA Wilson shoes priority over Caitlin Clark's. However, from the standpoint of marketability, it is not feasible. It's obvious that Caitlin Clark is superior to AA Wilson.
Where is Caitlin Clark's shoe? Jersey sales skyrocketed by 500% this season. Where's the shoe, folks? Where is it?
When Nike is in charge, here is where things start to get really strange. Wilson sells out basketballs in a couple of minutes, but other businesses are launching limited edition products. Like everyone else, Nike recognizes Clark's worth.
Where's the shoe, folks? Where is it? Paige Becker recently landed her own signature shoe. Crappy shoe, but she got one. And yeah, you're right. Vocal, of course. Why not? We should be vocal. Absolutely ridiculous.
Clark is demonstrating that women's sports can generate substantial revenue. However, it appears that everyone is currently profiting from this except for Nike. What is the issue? Is the largest company in women's basketball, Nike, making a grave error, or do they have some knowledge that we don't?